twisting, turning. That's a penalty, is it? No, he's still going. Oh, how about that? How about that?
Two friends, two minds, and one love for Arsenal Football Club. You are now listening to the Caught in Two Minds podcast.
Meanwhile, Xhaka weaves his way through.
What's up? What's really going on? Welcome to the podcast, Caught in Two Minds. E. Marshall here, kicking it with Fitz at Gooner Rush.
We're
back. Like Jake Paul and Tyrone Woodley, we're back.
Well, Woodley's not back. I don't think he's got up yet.
It's a sad day for dark brothers like me, you know.
Yeah.
Getting
rumor has it, I think Woodley spent some time at Leeds United.
Yeah, out on his feet.
Yeah,
out. You know, sad though. You know, getting your ass whooped in front of the world by a YouTube star. So
yeah, his eye gonna hurt when he's cashing that check.
Right,
it's gonna hurt.
Right. Tremendous day after the Leeds match. Couldn't be happier with what I saw. Before we get into all that, have you been watching Tiger and Charlie out on the golf course? His son.
I've been catching the headlines and stuff. I haven't really checked them out.
Oh man. Well, let me tell you. At first, I was concerned. It's only been 10 months, so I didn't think he should be out there screwing around. And why? You know why? But the more I watched it, the more I saw him and Charlie, and you know, it's tremendous.
Yeah. Okay.
No. I mean, there was one point where
leave me hanging on the edge. I'm just like,
no, you're
really
but there was a cute moment. You know, Tom Rinaldi. Rinaldi, is that his name? The little golf guy. Whatever. Yeah. He was on ESPN last night talking.
Right, the little golf guy. I got you.
The announcer did. Rinaldi.
Yeah.
You know who he is.
Yeah, the little one.
What'd he say? He said Charlie yelled at Tiger he said, "Get my bag, darky." And it was like he described it as a cute moment during the match when Charlie yelled, "Get my bag, darky," to his dad. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. You know.
I mean, interestingly enough, Charlie is one level lighter.
He's got a little blonde, brown hair. It's feathered out.
Got a little superiority in the family.
You know what I mean? He struts around like Tiger, and he was like, "Get my bag, darky. Let's go. Damn it.
Bagger fans.
Get over here. We're going to waffle out anyway." So, give it up. Don't do it. That shit makes me laugh. Anyway, quick recap. Arsenal away at Leeds. Leeds coming off a 7-0 trouncing by Man City. Excuse me. But yeah, we went 4-1. 3 goals in the first half, 11 shots, Martinelli with a brace, Saka with 1. And then, you know, we kind of controlled the game a little bit. Leeds kind of got back in it. We gave up a penalty. We'll talk about that later. Ben White and ESR gets another goal. So we come away with it 4-1. And let's hear what the little general has to say. Shall we? Let's do it. Yeah. Raging.
When Mikel Alexander Lacazette said, "Brilliant game plan from the coach," do you accept the compliment?
I say great performance from the lads. Because they are the ones that played and have to execute it against a team that is very uncomfortable to play against. And I'm really glad the way they played. 3 games in a week, 3 wins, very physical games as well. And I'm really pleased.
Like you say, Leeds have a style that commits the way they come man to man.
Yeah, obviously.
And that's enough of that bullshit. All right. Now, Laca giving it up to the coach.
He really is the company man, isn't he?
Laca?
Arteta.
No, yeah. He's
Just
completely
really
dialed in.
company guy, just gonna say the right thing always.
Gonna say the right thing. He's buttoned up. But the game plan was good. I don't know how hard the game plan, playing against Leeds. They're gonna, they're gonna man mark everybody and run all over the pitch. There was one point during the match where Laca came way deep, and the defender or the center back that was marking him was all the way on the other side of the pitch following him. So
yeah, all the way.
It's cool when you don't know what to expect from Bielsa, but this is kind of how it always ends for him. People get used to it. They come up with tactics, and any day now he'll be calling in. But
Yeah.
I can't do this shit.
He could be overwhelming at times, that style of play, but then like you said, like it just runs out of steam kind of. But
right. Once you realize that, okay, it's complete chaos.
And also to note on the beginning of the game is they had 8-9 players out or something like that, not COVID related, just injuries and suspensions. And, they were depleted. We were supposed to be able to handle this game, but we came right out the gate intense.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And to go along with what I was just saying about his style and the way they practice and the way they play, there is going to be a lot of injuries, within your team when you have that style. So anyway, you're right. We came out with the right attitude. We controlled the game. No changes in the lineups. Were you happy with that? Can you hear me? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Oh, I'm great. Finding you. Okay, good. Now, but no ESR today. Were you okay with that? Or I was fine with the lineups. I thought everything was great. Why break it?
I was okay.
Some shit. All right.
He's picked good enough lineups for a while now that I'm kind of to where I'm trusting him. If he's got a reason to start Odegaard, then he's got a reason to start Odegaard. But like we said, there's no reason not to just kind of give ESR a little bit of rest and bring him off the bench to give him a little bit of time. We got plenty of games coming up. So I was fine with it.
I completely agree. I thought plus ESR keeps coming off the bench and scoring goals. So
coming in like fire.
Yeah. So he did have a little knock a few weeks back. So you're right. You want to kind of bring him along slowly. Plus, with the teams we play and the way Odegaard is in form, you can honestly say he's in form now, based on the way he's been playing these last few games, and he's scoring goals and setting up goals, and that's huge.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the first goal. What were some of your thoughts about the first goal?
Just great play by both guys involved, but Laca's just determination and hustle just, made everything kind of happen. But to watch Martinelli prounce and put the ball just perfectly into the top corner.
Clinical finish.
Something that I've credited him, giving him a lot of pub for a while is he's one of the few guys on the team. Like I even want, like even when he heads balls, like he heads them with purpose. He tries to get them to places, and he just understands how to shift his body and shoot. And
he's
accurate.
Clinical.
He's accurate.
Clinical.
Yes.
He's turning into one of those strikers where if they get one on the break and they're going, you're like, oh, he's gonna score. Like there's no real like, oh shit, I hope he scores. I hope he doesn't blow this one. He's one of those guys who looks like he's gonna score, like kind of how Rooney was. You know what I mean? Oh, he's gonna score. But the just how accurate these young players are, and the composure. I'm going to get into this later, but I mean, you could tell there's something going on in the training ground. Everything about that that goal, that first goal, is everything you love about Laca. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the constant movement, the tackle to win the ball back.
Yep.
Just the way he plays with these kids is night and day compared to Abba. You know, Abba wasn't doing the sort of things that Laca. I know they're different players, but this looks like the style Arteta wants to play.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of funny. It's weird that he would stick with Abba for so long, knowing that, you know, he has somebody like Laca who's gonna come deep, who's gonna work hard on defense, who's gonna put in a good challenge. You know, he's gonna, make shit happen. You know.
I know the politics of it just make it hard for Arteta to just run away from him. So I mean, I don't really fault him terribly. I mean, he went with him longer than I would have gone with him, but you can't. Yeah, supposedly our leader, our biggest paid guy. You know, he rode him out as long as he could, kind of thing. But this whole thing just kind of, like we said before, conveniently gave him an opportunity to just kind of adjust on the team. You know, now they're saying Alba doesn't even come back until after AFCON.
Right.
Which is, one thing I noted I thought was great about that is that, you know what? That's good because Laca getting some time with the squad going into January would be great.
Definitely. Yeah. And you sent me some last night where you were talking about how the timing of it all is kind of perfect for Arteta and the way he's handling it.
Yeah.
The Abba situation, because African Cup of Nations is going to come and he is going to have to go. And by then he should be completely forgotten. And hopefully we can make something happen in January as far as getting him out of Dodge. That would be tremendous. You'll never see Aubameyang put in that effort and make something like that happen. You just don't see that.
Yeah.
So that was great. So look at us coughing and shit. What class acts for? The second goal. Would you?
I mean, credit to a great assist by Xhaka.
Yeah. That was tough to say.
But just what another wonderful run by Martinelli.
Yeah.
Recognition, stayed on side.
Right. That's huge.
And
good point.
I was worried that when he got clipped that he was going to go down, but he kept his feet.
The
that
balance.
Was wonderful. But as soon as he stood up and he got his balance, I knew he was going to finish. I knew it.
That's just what I said, huh? Soon as he was able to ride that challenge, keep his balance, for all his touches were spot on, and then to just dink it over the keeper like that just shows you, like, everything we just talked about. This kid is clinical. All of them, Smith Rowe, Saka, they always put it on target.
Yeah,
always. And like I just said, from young players, I mean, that's just incredible. Here's the thing with me. Xhaka looks like he's making an effort to pass the ball forward.
More and more.
And, and even this game, it wasn't that much, but he's made the last two games, he's made 2 killer balls like this from midfield. And the interesting thing about that is Partey looks like he's starting to take a step back, focus on defending. He's not trying as risky passes as he used to. Yeah. Whereas, it looks like Xhaka is that guy who's, making those passes from deep. And we need that with the four, because to me, that was half the problem with the chances we weren't creating at the beginning of the season. It was just too reliant on Saka, the front four.
And there's that whole idea is that the threat that pass might go through opens up other passes.
Right.
So you know, you have to make that pass sometimes. You just have to do it just to keep the defense honest, you know?
Exactly. That's a good point. And here's the funny thing about that is, you know, Aubameyang wants to play in the middle. You know, he wants to play where Laca's playing. And if he played out wide like Gabby Martinelli and, you know, timed his runs and made those runs and played off Laca, he could be doing the same thing Martinelli's doing right now, but he wants to play in the center of the pitch. You know what I mean? It's like it's so weird because, you know, the whole thing is those two can't play together, Laca and Aubameyang, but it's like, yes, they can. If Aubameyang would play like Martinelli, you know what I mean? And just play that position like that. But anyway, no, I gotta I'm really happy with what Xhaka's doing as far as just making an effort to look forward and pass the ball forward. Killer passes. So two games in a row.
The thing is like that's the guy we were promised when we got him. And I mean, he's got a beautiful foot and he can pass the ball really nice and things like that. Our complaint that it just got into at one point was that he doesn't make that pass. He just goes side to side and back all the time. Side to side and back. But I mean,
all the time.
You know, if he could pivot, turn, and look up the field, then hey, you know, some of that's got to be credited to Arteta and his like attention to spacing and positioning that should allow time with Xhaka on the ball.
The weird thing about that is Xhaka's a veteran. And, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, why all of a sudden? But I think we'll get into this later. But I think, you know, this you know, it's a mixture of things. But I think this Aubameyang, you know, I think the Arteta. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I'm pleased. I'm happy to see that, and I'm even more happy to see Partey not trying to be that guy who's going to make that pass. Yes. Although he can, and every now and then he does, but there was a while there where it was like, dude, stop making loose passes, okay? Cut it out.
Yeah,
you know, and focus on defense and your positioning. And I think they're doing that. Like they kind of switch roles, kind of in that way.
Yeah, and I mean that threat between the two of them to be different, and sometimes it's him and sometimes it's him. That makes it more more difficult on the team.
The balance of the team looks like it's getting in play too, because you got Tomiyasu, you got Tyranny, you know, you got people on either side, Martinelli. You know what I mean? We used to just work that left-hand side with Tyranny and Saka last year to the point where it was like, geez, you know, what's going on the other side of the pitch? You know what I mean? But now we got a little balance going forward, and even like you just said in the midfield, and top four, baby. Let's talk about that third goal.
Oh, that was oh yeah. You saw that? Did you see the tweet of Ronaldinho?
The other
talking about Martinelli,
like he's Ronaldo, El Gordo Ronaldo.
He just says that, you know, everybody in Brazil's really paying attention to him.
Yeah,
they love his attitude. He's hungry. He just wants goals.
Yeah,
he reminds me of Ronaldo.
Yeah, I read that tweet last week on the podcast.
Oh, really? Was that on the podcast?
Yeah, but it's cool.
The games are coming fast. They're coming fast and furious, folks.
Hey, and you know how Twitter is, fool. You know, there's all. I mean, you get on Twitter,
right? That one's just been circulating. So
you get on Twitter and you see all kind of shit. Hold on a sec.
My favorite is when, hey, have you seen this one? Yeah, last year. I saw it last year.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I gotta show that one, fool. That damn Odegaard. Okay, yeah, let's talk about the third goal. And go ahead. Pop your collar.
A couple of our just most stout, like you can count on them kind of guys, Laca and Saka, just barreling through.
See, you start there, but I started with the first time outlet kick out ball from Odegaard to Saka to spring the whole thing.
Yeah.
Just just classy shit that you saw from a player that used to play for us. But yeah, just classy.
So it was that pass to me was literally one of those that like I just wasn't even sure. Like, did something lucky just happen? Like how? Like I don't know how he kind of got it to him.
Right.
I came up with a couple nicknames for our boys today. So
oh yeah, I forgot to touch on that. Yeah, you had a good one about Martinelli.
Martinelli, the Brazilian.
Yeah,
he should be the piranha because
that's kind of
the first thing I thought is, man, he attacks like a shark, and then I was like, no, he attacks like a piranha.
Right. It's more frantic, aggressive. Like he just goes.
I love it, but not a nickname for Saka, but just Saka, dude. To me, it's like the Matrix. It's like he's starting to everything is slowing down for him. He sees the pitch. He decides on how he's going to set somebody up, and he's usually kind of successful with it now.
Yes.
The only thing that gets him is stamina, not necessarily stamina. Just he's played a lot of games,
right?
So it's just natural to be tired sometimes, but sometimes he's tired.
2-footed, can pass and shoot with either foot. Like it's no big fucking deal at all. Like whatever. This is so easy, man. But the sign of a superstar or the next level. And I'm gonna go ahead. I've been worried about putting so much pressure on him, but he's a superstar. He's gonna be a superstar. But he looked tired in the beginning of that first half. He looked a little out of it. He looked like he wasn't really, didn't really have it today. When you're a pitcher and you don't have your stuff, he kind of looked like that way throughout the first half. And then all of a sudden,
good take. I didn't pick up on that one.
He sprung to life and scored a goal right before halftime. Yeah. That's what superstars do. You know what I mean? I'm not really feeling today. I'm a little tired. Been getting lumps kicked in me all week, but boom, stepped up, scored another goal, and tremendous. Because he wasn't as busy as he usually is. He kind of let the game come to him, and he produced. And that's what superstars do. So The Matrix, I like it, with the new movie coming out. What else? Oh, Odegaard. You know what I mean? I mean, look, okay. I've been as harsh. I haven't been a critic. I just not fully bought in. He kind of looks goofy running around out there. I didn't think he was up for the challenge early on, and ESR kind of took his spot. But the way he's responded to that, the goals and what was on display yesterday was that last little cute pass that you need to score goals, to create chance, the chance creation, all those. And he was always looking for it to the point, and on some occasions you're like, man, shoot. You know what I mean? You're too much like Ozil now. Like, shoot when you got a chance. But man, he created so many good, clear-cut chances for other players all throughout the game. And he's coming along nicely. And shout out to Odegaard, and hey, you're winning me over, but go ahead.
It seems like his attitude is just right, and
great attitude.
I think they made him a captain on his national squad now.
Okay.
And and he's still a young kid. I think he's 21. And he seems to be like a kind of a coach's dream.
Yeah.
Even last year when he was still on loan and people were kind of pining for, come on, give me ESR, man. Like, I mean, and he kind of kept playing Odegaard until he couldn't, because Odegaard got hurt. And, he seems to be a coach's dream. I think it's a lot of just how his vision is great. He sees the pitch. He knows what's going on. And he hustles. And
that's
he's like an Ozil, but he hustles. He does hustle on D.
That's a huge point, for the style of play Arteta wants to play, or the style of play Pep wants to play. You know, the usually those creative midfielders or those attacking midfielders, they don't really want to press or hustle or run around or do what it takes to have that system flourish. And he's one of those guys in that 10 and that 10 role who's going to run around, who's going to press you. Yeah, I called him. I was going to ask you about a comparison, but you've already compared him to Ozil like a year ago. You know what I mean? But he is like a bootleg Ozil in the fact that he makes those, he can slip those little cute passes where the difference is he's willing to take a shot. He's willing to be a little more aggressive and shoot. And he, like you just said, he runs on defense. He will run for the team.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
a real minute difference about their shooting. And
because you always wanted Ozil to shoot more.
We get the impression Ozil, was a good, shot on goal nice too. But he really, there was a lot of frustration about shooting on goal, like shoot more.
Yeah.
And even when he did a lot, he wasn't always like on the money kind of guy. Like,
he missed a lot. He missed those chances where you're like, man, come on. Like you could slip a pass anywhere. You can't pass that into the net, or kind of like Aubameyang missed those easy shots, but he'll make a bicycle. You know what I mean? It's just one of those weird things. I compared Odegaard to Fabregas, and I think that's a good comparison. But around the box and really creating chances, he's more like Ozil. That's the reason why I brought up Fabregas, is because that's what I want to talk about next. At the beginning of the season, I made a bold statement that you can't play ESR and Odegaard at the same time, and I still kind of stand by that. But at the same time, imagine if Odegaard take out Partey for AFCON, and we put Odegaard there next to Xhaka, and we put ESR to 10. I think we could have some success with that. I really do. I know the difference between ESR and Odegaard is ESR isn't the type of number 10 or attacking midfielder that's really looking to slip those cute little passes to create chances. He's looking to get on the end of them, you know what I mean, and score those goals. But I don't know. What do you think? Do you think they can play at the same? Because you were one of the ones to say, yeah, they can. I don't see a problem.
I just think, and at the time we were talking about with Partey.
Well, everybody in there and taking out somebody.
I would get a little worried if it was Odegaard and Xhaka left to play deep in the midfield.
Okay.
Just
because Xhaka's so slow. And
between the two of them, they're both just not the best athletes. They give you everything they got. They give you everything they got.
That's a good point.
And I do think ESR, he likes to get on the end of them, like we said. He likes to run like kind of, bang, bang, almost kind of old school Arsenal, like Jack Wilshere, Aaron Ramsey, kind of Olivier Giroud. Let's bing, 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 bing into the box and see if we could slip one, past the keeper.
Right.
So where Odegaard's a little more intricate, that last assist to ESR yesterday.
Oh man, that was great. I tried to pull it up,
Sublime.
Oh yeah, it was just great. And he was making a lot of those. And that's when the Ozil comparisons come in. Our friend Gunnar and Cali, he said he reminds him of a Ramsey. Which is kind of true too.
I can see that.
But yeah, anyway, he had a great game. It's a great problem to have for Arteta, which one of those guys are you going to play? But like we said, as long as ESR is coming in and scoring goals, I mean, shit.
Yeah.
We're all dialed in. So let's see here. So yeah, Why the sudden change in attacking and chance creation? Is it the Abba situation? The players finally getting it, or is it Arteta letting go? Like just letting it go.
I think Arteta's wound a little too tight to just be like, okay, he's just kind of letting it go. So I'm going to say it's not that one, but I will say that the next two, Abba situation, I really think is big. You know, some of it is, yes, Abba's kind of laissez-faire kind of player out there that doesn't seem to just be intense and try to go after a win. And what it really means is that Laca's in there now. And there's a difference in the intensity now in that position.
Right.
You know, so
that's a good point. Like I said last week, or maybe the week, or the games are coming so fast. But I think, in the beginning, when you're a young kid, you can look up to Abba and be like, man, this guy is awesome. He can kind of the accomplishments, the amount of goals. I'm sure he shows out in practice and tears it up. And you can be like, oh wow, look at him, he's awesome. And kind of he can become your idol. But then when you start seeing your idol not take the game as serious, maybe he's late for practice. Who knows how many times he's been late too? We only know twice. But it just, when you're young, you start to lose you start to lose respect for that person, and you kind of want to just move on. And that's what the team's done. I think it's Arteta. I think it's Arteta letting go. Like, he's not and that's hard to say when you watch him on the sidelines. You know what I mean? But
that was my first image. But yeah,
I just don't think he's micromanaging as much. And I'm just basing that on what I'm seeing on the pitch. The players look like they're just playing now. They're not thinking. They don't look like robots out there trying to figure out what's going on or who's supposed to be where. You remember early in the season, fools were like, having arguments with each other about where you were supposed to be and shit.
Over here.
Right. Yeah. And you really don't see that anymore. And you see a lot of communication amongst the players too when they're out there. So,
like that part of that
be a little bit of everything
should be like kind of slashed, because I was going to say, and that might be part of also what I felt like is the players getting it.
Mm-hmm.
But in the last few games, I've just kind of even noted to myself, like, because, the playing out of the back thing has been an issue. It's been a focus for a while now. Yeah. And for the last few games, I've been watching them come out of the back, and, there's some passes that are automatic to break the press. And sometimes it's that back pass to Thomas Partey, and then he swings it over to the wing, and then we're moving.
Right.
However it is that we have to do it, they seem to get it now. Everybody's space where they're supposed to be, those passes are automatic now. It's boom, boom, one touch, boom. Yep. And we're just moving the ball up the pitch.
Everything is quicker. So it could be a mix of all three.
Mm-hmm.
It could be the Abba situation, everybody, the whole team getting a lift, off that. The players are getting it now, and Arteta not really micromanaging as much.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, and to go with the Abba thing too, if we talk about even just two players, Abba and Pepe are both not playing now, and they both kind of had that, like, get the ball, hold it, let me try to do something with it and be sweet. And the players out there now are not like that.
Great point. Pepe, bless his heart. Talk about not knowing how to play with this team. Pepe, if only he got it, or if only he would just try to figure it out, he could be special out there on that. I mean, but it's a wrap for him as far as
Yeah, and I
wrap.
mean, he just
Hey, we're not talking about Pepe.
I mean, it's just so obvious that it's kind of over and stuff. So I mean, I'd like to see us just go ahead and move on. Just move on from them and do what you can and just get what you can and move on.
This is another thing. You always, you're the mindset that, hey, you're like Belichick. Get rid of these fools. If get rid of them soon, man. Don't even play around with it. And
well, there's such thing as a top value in somebody.
Right.
You know? And Arsenal has waited till the last 6 months for a lot of guys where you don't get top value pay for those kind of guys.
We're blowing it on that aspect of that.
And that's why when you see Barcelona, they just got rid of Alexis Sanchez. They're just like, you know, hey,
it's not working out.
We gotta believe he has a future. It's just we don't see it for like 5 years for us.
We got 25 little Latino guys running around here that look just like Alexis Sanchez, so we're gonna sell them for 60 million or whatever it was. But no, I got you. Like, we knew. I mean, it wasn't working with Pepe. Like, a while ago.
If somebody would have pulled the trigger, they could have at least a year ago.
We could have got 60. After that first year,
COVID, so maybe not. I don't know.
But no, I hear what you're saying, and I mean that has really been our biggest weakness. And you would think the Cronkies and the business people, how greedy they are, kind of, and they want that cash, they need that cash. I mean, we have really been dropping the ball as far as that aspect of it. So yeah, that was crazy. All right, let's all, we're almost dialed in here. Let's get over to the deep. What happened?
What
are you doing?
Yeah.
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
This a bitch. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I think he has to. I think you have to take a shit? Is that what's going on? Go ahead.
That's not what's going on, though.
Go ahead. Take a shit, dude. Why are you fucking around? The bathroom is right behind you, right by the flag. There's like a private chat thing there right there. You see it on your screen?
Yeah.
Go ahead and type me a message.
Go ahead. You're good. I'm good.
I think I need to know what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, Fitz has diarrhea. He mentioned that before the show started, and I figured we just roll the dice and see if we can get through. Anyway, Tomiyasu and Tierney.
Beautiful.
I thought both were very, very responsible and solid going forward and defending. Tierney playing under control like a grizzled veteran now, out there just handling his business like a veteran, doing his thing, and at the same time not doing too much. Like, he doesn't look like he's gonna get hurt now. I think I just probably jinxed him, but he's under control. He's like a veteran out there. He's doing big things. And Tomiyasu, I don't know what to tell you. He still hasn't smiled, and he got you on that. Got you. There you go. And what was I going to say? Oh, there was a few times throughout the match his intensity and defending were just top notch.
Both of them defended really well. But to your note on Tierney, I mean, basically, we're doing more in front of them. So we're not asking them to be everything and do everything and be the attack and be the defense. And, so like now he's starting to like get inside himself now,
Right.
But I thought he played excellent. And I can go all day about Tomiyasu. That guy he's hard-nosed. And I noticed when he even misses or gets beat, like, he makes up very fast. He makes up ground very fast.
Right. Word on the tweets. I got a tweet here that I thought was hilarious. Marty Yinger AFC at Marty Yinger 14 He tweeted the Hungarian commentator. He's got a Hungarian flag, so I'm guessing he's from Hungary. But he said the Hungarian commentator, the only negative thing about Arsenal's performance is Xhaka's presence. So I just thought that was hilarious. Like Xhaka can't catch a break even in Hungary and shit. You know what I mean? But Leeds fans, we played our kids today. Arsenal fans, so did we. That's from Jacobson 336. So yeah, just a good time.
There was a very fun tweet that got out this morning. I think that it was Ramsdale razzing the Leeds fans down there in the corner. Mm-hmm. They were talking shit to him, and it was right after the fourth goal when he ran by, and I think he gave him the middle finger. And they were yelling back. But
good, that's what you want from your keeper. That
Ramsdale is a nut, and I love it.
That atmosphere, those Leeds fans, gotta give them pub. It was just a tremendous atmosphere. They're wild, screaming, just having a big old time while their team is getting their asses drilled. So shout out to them. Did you learn anything?
You know what was my big thing that
and we're out of here.
I can't say nothing other than the intensity and effort is everything, and as long as we keep that up, I think we're capable of the top four. But like I just keep telling everybody, it's not about our team only.
Right.
We already can kind of write off that we're not getting top two because Liverpool and Man City are not getting caught, I don't think.
No.
So we're only talking about third and fourth place. And I mean, is Chelsea getting one of them and then we get the other one? I mean, hey, man, we got people to battle and there's no guarantees. So
as long as we keep winning and the games keep stacking up for Man U and Tottenham, they keep getting games canceled and postponed. They're going to have to win those games in hands to keep up with us. So we got Norwich coming up. So things are looking good. What I learned is I used to criticize I didn't know what was going on in training based on what I was seeing. So I used to criticize Arteta for that. But what I'm seeing lately from these young team and these young players and their development, it's obvious that there's some serious training going on. And he's not only training them physically, but mentally, because you can see that the games aren't getting to him. The pressure's not getting to him. And I can't wait to see what kind of training has been going. I can't wait for him to unleash Belagrin, onto us and just to see his progression and see where he's at. You can see the different stages. You saw it with Saka. You saw it with ESR. You're seeing it right now with Martinelli, and hopefully it's going to be the same thing with Belagrin, and I can't wait. So shout out to the coaching staff, the players, everybody, me for doing this podcast, Arteta listening to it and taking my advice, just all kind of shit jumping off. And we're going to end it on that.
I'll tell you what, this is what I learned. Let's just keep beating these teams that we're supposed to beat, and everything will be okay. We'll be okay.
We ought to be able to get a nickel on Norwich on those marks. You feel me?
Right.
At CITM Podcast on Twitter. Hit us up. Join the party. Cotton Two Minds on Instagram. If you're listening to the podcast, leave a review. If you're watching, subscribe, like, and do the whole 9 yards. Quit playing games. You know what I'm saying? I'm at E. Marshall Comedy, and that's at Guna Rush. And we are out of here.
Peace! Twisting, turning. That's a penalty, is it? No, he's still going. Oh, how about that? How about that?
Thank you for tuning into Cotton Two Minds. Please head on over to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and review. All feedback is much appreciated. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at CITM Podcasts, at Guna Rush, and at E. Marshall Comedy. The music of this podcast is brought to you by Statics. If you like what you hear, please head on over to staticsmusic.com and be sure to follow them on Twitter and Instagram at Statics Music. That's STATX Music. Peace. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I like E. Marshall. I think he is the best. And there you have it.